Good morning. It is 10:02 a.m. on Friday, March 7th, 2025. Call this meeting of the Wichita County Commissioners Court to order. Item number 1 this morning is review and discuss jail maintenance projects and work orders. Our distinguished Chief Deputy, Will Rutledge, is in the building, so I'll turn it over to him.
So we didn't meet 2 weeks ago, so I'll cover pretty much the last month. The lights have always been fixed, but we've discovered, or we've had 2 or 3 more go out since then, so it's not to pass more drivers. The vehicle gate rollers on both entry and exit gates have been replaced. Doing good. The AC filters have been all changed as of 2/25. And for the first 2 weeks, they did, from February 21st to 27th, they did 48 work orders. And then for this last week, Axon was there for a couple days. They started putting the cameras up in the CID, get those cameras going, and I believe the one in the DWI room as well. And then had 41 work orders, and that was mainly this week's stuff. So it was busy.
How long have we been there now?
Nearly 4 years.
I was gonna say, it seemed like it was.
Long enough the warnings wear out.
Still have that new car smell?
Yeah, a new car
Doesn't
smell.
seem like it's been that long.
Yes. I know. Time flies, we're having fun.
Boy, it does.
Building still looks great though.
Yeah.
Just
They're
other than-
painting the exterior doors this week.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that, they're painting them.
I hate
the
to go with
faded.
that brown, but that was the only thing that.
It's a quick fix. We're rehabbing, starting with A pod, we've done A, B, C, and D pod. And we're working our way through the gel, going through and touching up paint and doing anything that needs to be done in each pod. So,
Still, when we go off to conferences and stuff and visit with fellow commissioners, it seems like I always get asked, when should we build a jail? And I always tell them 10 years ago, which is sure true now.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we did it at the exact right time for us.
Everything good with the generator?
Yes.
Up there, okay.
No problem.
I asked because on Wednesday, I heard from someone, Public Utility Commission is working on a big grant for counties for generators for critical infrastructure. And
Wow.
Well, that one's the size of a freight train. I don't know if you've ever seen
Yeah,
one.
I'm
yeah, no, this is what
Yeah.
this is what theirs is designed to get at, is the jails, fire departments, police departments, big stuff too. So that's why I was asking.
We did put, I think, 1,500 gallons of fuel in it right before it got cold a couple weeks ago. So,
Okay.
Are we still testing the generator over at the spread unit?
as far as I know, we are. I couldn't tell you 100%, but
We did engineering while there last week to look at power, how we can lose the big transformer,
yeah.
Battlestar Galactica transformer.
No, they're going to do that next week, correct? So,
So-
and Vernon is out at school next week. So,
Well, no, we're a bigger project than that,
okay,
but yeah, so we can do away with our transformer, but
that's
the
there.
question was asked if we still maintaining that.
Yeah, it's on that.
Yes,
It's
we
on
are.
that. Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
It's on the schedule.
It's on the schedule to be PM and everything too. So,
I thought we were, just to make sure we are.
All right, any other questions on jail maintenance projects or work orders? All right, go to item number 2, receive status report on salaries and overtime.
I gave y'all the last 2 cycles of the out of county revenue. That's on your desk. We are still down 16 positions in the jail.
Did you get one, Jeff?
Oh,
I think I had 2 of them sitting there.
No, they're
There's
2
two
different
different
weeks.
ones.
Oh, there's 2 different.
Yeah, 2 different.
Oh, okay.
Two different pay cycles.
I got
Pay
it.
cycles.
All right, good deal. Well, that's not insignificant, is it?
45,000 a pay period?
We were sitting at 595 yesterday, I think, but we had 40 going to court this morning, so we may thin that out a little bit.
That's double good, because those are our folks who might be coming out.
Yeah, ICE has been calling daily. Yeah, so
I would rather be on the receiving end of that than the paying end, for sure.
And looks like Wilmer sent the report yesterday at 8:04 a.m. It should be in your inbox too for the overall. Chief, I know we've got that newly signed Knox County agreement. Are we expecting any from them, or is that just have it in place just in case?
That's just in case. They actually, how that came around is they had an inmate that had charges in Baylor County. And because the charges were finalized in Baylor County, they had to house them. And so they fell actually under Baylor's contract. But we went ahead and did Knox and just in case. Most of those rural counties just have a few beds anyway.
Are those out of county inmates? Are they scattered amongst the population? Or are they
Yeah,
separate? Okay.
It's all in classification.
Okay.
When we house an out-of-county inmate, do we take care of all their medical needs as part of our contract, or?
No, if they have to go to the hospital, we take them. But if they're going to stay, then they have to send somebody to stay
Okay.
with them.
And we invoice the
Yeah.
county
Yeah,
they came
invoice.
from for
For-
transportation or hospital stuff or.
Okay, we do invoice,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It's covered.
That was a question on this subject for Henderson Health earlier this week, so.
Yeah, it's in all of our
Yeah.
contract, our contracts, our agreements.
Thought so.
Yeah.
Really didn't affect us, but I just want to make sure I knew the correct answer.
Am I reading that right, that this, surely not, this overtime period had $100,000 of overtime pay?
Where are you seeing that at, Jim?
On page 9, total all overtime and holiday pay. In the column, it's just overtime hours, overtime pay. That's not cumulative, that's just this.
That's what it looks like, that's what it shows on the payments.
Okay.
127,000, when you got it, all that.
Yeah, okay. At that rate, that would be $2.6 million a year in overtime. Feel like I'm missing something. No, maybe not.
How many employees at the city of Wichita Falls total? 1,000?
1,300.
No, it's more than that, it's closer to 2,000.
2,000? Well, that,
It's,
if your number's right, then we're way off target. Because the city report's 4.2.
I would expect us to have significantly more because of the jail, which they don't have, and we know that that's
But they have a the fire department that we don't have.
Maybe 1,500.
I think it's about 1,400 some odd.
People,
Yeah.
A lot of those are part-time, temporary.
That is consistent.
$1,637 employees.
Bunch.
All right. Y'all still looking at that? Any more questions on salaries and overtime? We can take more time if we need to. I'm not trying to rush. Jeff, you good?
I'm good.
Mark, you good? Okay. All right, item number 3 is review and discuss regular bills. I believe Matt sent that email out this morning. Chief, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's 7:17 this morning. We sent out the list.
I gotta go. Thank you.
Mike, I've got a question for you on mine, while I've got Jack here too. I've got so we have an account at Express Conoco. And we get a ticket for when we fill up gasoline there, mostly, sometimes truck fuels, some tires. But we write them a check per each ticket received. They send us an invoice at the end of the month.
We don't have to do it that way.
Why do we do it that way?
It's probably how the vendor was set up, to be honest. I can look at it,
Okay.
because you can change the
Because
settings.
couldn't we save those tickets, just compare them to the invoice and then pay the invoice?
So long as they don't age over 30 days. I mean,
Yeah, they're all within the month. We gather them by the month, and Jack will have me the last, either the very first day or two of the upcoming month. It's Expressway Conoco is who it is. But like this time,
See, they run Expressway, Conoco, or Ralph's Service Station,
yeah, I bet you I've got
which is
over-
out in Pumpkin Center.
Yeah, and I've got 20, I bet.
it looks like we pretty much write them one check per list.
Can you see my payables?
I'm looking, yes, I'm
Do
looking
you
at
just,
them.
do they just add them all up, is what you're saying?
So if they have anything that's outstanding, each list will pay them. So
Okay.
anything that comes from your precinct would be one check.
Okay.
If it came from precinct 5, it would be
Gotcha.
another check.
So we're not writing 20 checks?
Mm-mm, it doesn't look that way. Because we paid them, like, on February 4th, for example, we paid them $7,900. And then we didn't pay them again till 2/21,
Okay.
so.
We'll point out to everybody the $1.2 million debt payment is on this batch. So if you see a large number.
And that's the jail bonds?
Mhm.
Yes,
And where does that leave that account balance?
For the actual project, for the paying back of the bond?
No, just what is in our INS fund right now?
I don't know that off the top of my head.
Come on, Mike.
I mean, I can tell you there's at least enough money to cover the September payment, I think, spitballing, at the end of last year, we had a few $100,000 in fund balance in there, 500,000, something like that.
So there's fund balance in there to pay this, and you think there's setting in there fund balance to pay the September payment too?
Oh yeah, because we've already collected all the taxes for this year.
But you don't know how much over we are?
Mhm.
Okay.
I imagine it's a decent amount because you're looking at 3.5 million getting 4 to 5% interest, so it's got to be.
Is there ever a point where we can take that fund balance and pay an additional payment toward the bond?
I
Or
don't
do
think
we-
you
are
could
we
pay,
better-
you could short
can't,
the, you
yeah.
could short INS though, Mark.
That's because Matt has said that we're going to look at that and probably discuss that in court for the budget.
You have to go a certain time, don't you, before you can alter the
Yeah,
payments, that was my understanding.
But yeah, I
are
think
we better off just drawing interest off of it? Is there a wash or?
going to run into a problem there of taxing for a purpose that's not
Yeah.
being used for. So I think that, I mean, that's a budget decision. My guess is the best way forward on that's probably just to lower the INS rate 1 year to get it back in close to Alliance. It's not tremendously over at this point, but yeah, with the interest rates we've been getting,
Building.
it's building. And
What percentage of fund balance can you keep over in case you're short a year?
Well, you could keep anything you wanted to in there, you're just not able to do anything with it other than
Yeah,
pay.
no, I get that,
yeah,
so.
that would require a little bit of research. I don't know that off the top of my head.
From what I've seen in most fund balance policies, they keep 1/12 in the debt account.
But there's at some point, I don't know that you call it arbitrage, but at some point, it's like what Jim was saying, you're taxing for INS that you're not spending, and you're just sitting there drawing interest on it. So,
Well, you are spending it at some point to the project.
Yep.
It's not
at
spending it
some
that
point,
year.
you
Yeah.
would, yeah, but
So being in the calendar year is the point. In other words, would you say 1/12?
Yep, that's what I've seen that most counties choose to keep in
but
there
this is our first payment, right? It's
For-
due
for this year.
in the end of February?
It's due on March 15th and September 15th.
Okay, so it's just, I mean, the biggest concern, I guess, we'll always have tax roll in the front door, but I guess as long as you, like Mark said, keep a year's in supply, you're in good shape for the
Half a year.
most part,
Yeah, half year.
or, yeah, either than half.
Well, and I mean, it's one of those things you have to take into account. If we had had a trend or a history of not collecting most of that percentage by that
Yeah.
time that first payment's due, might want to keep a little bit more of a buffer.
Yeah.
There's nothing in our history on a trend like that, so. Y'all let me know when you've looked through everything. And only other thing I noticed, and I just checked with Matt and went back and looked at it, saw the $12,000 Atmos bill for our gas to the jail, to the LEC. It's like, is that right? Yeah, that's consistent. It's a large space.
Speaking of utility bills, have we ever gotten anywhere with?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Don't even say it.
Nope, not yet.
On a particular water bill? I'm good, Judge.
I'm good.
I can move on. I'll peruse what we're
No,
talking.
I mean, we don't need to rush, we're still looking at stuff.
Y'all realize this is Alexander Graham Bell Day? When he patented the telephone, wonder what he would think today. He came out and took a look.
this.
Yeah, I'm like, what's that?
You know, Wichita County Commissioners Court is not only fun, but it's
It
educational.
is educational. Just because that flashed up on my screen.
You know,
I usually celebrate that. I missed it.
Make a lot of random phone calls to people just to celebrate.
something that surprises me, and don't know why it crossed my mind, but, you know, used to Sherry was up on the third floor and we never saw, we just weren't there.
Mhm.
But now that she's where we pass through all the time, I'm amazed at the number of people.
Yeah.
There's traffic in there.
There's attorneys and
Yeah.
it's civilians
Sure are.
that are constantly using that service, and it's shocking to me.
Yeah, it's well used, and also I think that because of where that is, Sherry's sort of become the customer service rep for all of Wichita County.
Oh.
Yeah.
Go ask Sherry, she'll know.
That's, I
Yeah.
think some of that may happen
Okay.
too.
What's the direct energy bill we're paying for at a precinct 5?
Let me look at it.
It's not much. It's like $12, but
I think that was the one that there was back and forth about whose it was for a few months, and it was decided to pay it at a precinct 5. But
What was it, do you know?
It's not our light pole, is it?
well, that's
Is
the
it
question I
is it a
continue to
radio
ask
tower?
on our rural lighting.
I thought that we got GPS coordinates on all these.
Well, I mean, we have the Iowa Park radio tower that we all bounce off of.
That wouldn't be precinct 5. That'd be
We all use it. That's
the
our
whole county
radios.
uses it.
No, it's just for
Just
us,
for road and
Mark.
bridge,
just
just
for
our
road.
just our portion of it.
Yep.
Green Water Tower, Iowa Park, Texas.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it's for our radio.
It's for our radios.
All right. I couldn't figure out why we would be paying the electric bill out of precinct 5.
And that is running a air conditioner in that building.
Summertime.
Sam, how long's it been there?
Wow.
It's,
Been there
we
long.
changed it.
Y'all have
we
to
changed-
change the air conditioner
I
every
think
so
y'all
often.
changed it right
Yeah.
before Jerry retired. didn't
I think you did, and that's how long it's been. It was in there then like 5 years. It runs constantly. It's a little-
But the bill's never been high, Mark.
No, that's
We run that air conditioner. How do we get by with, it's always been about that amount.
yeah.
You know, actually,
That is
I'm
if we're
not
running
sure
air
that our
conditioner, it's
bill is
cheap.
only the repeater.
It may be.
No,
That
the
air
air
conditioner
conditioner
may be.
I think the air conditioner's hooked to the other.
Let's leave it that way.
Yeah. I believe that's right. I kind of remember.
That's why, now that you say that,
It just-
I'm
remember
thinking
Jerry
that
and I
ought to be a
having that
couple $100
conversation.
bill in the summertime.
Yeah. But I used to drive by and you drive up to the fence and roll the window down, and if you could hear the air conditioner still running, you knew it was okay.
Yeah.
Because we don't want that repeater to get hot, because if it does,
Yeah.
it'll go out. But it's worked great. I mean, when we first put that in with a $200 air conditioner or less, I don't remember what it was, a little bitty deal. But it's worked fine.
Okay. All right. Sorry I
I
asked.
can't believe that's right.
Are you good?
I think we plugged it into the other socket or something.
Any other questions on review and discuss regular bills?
Not gonna say a word.
Item number 4 then, review and discuss the 2025 Wichita County Property Renewal Questionnaire. Mr. County HR Director is sitting in.
Yes. Mainly, I just wanted to make sure that everything is on here as far as equipment and then buildings. So I'm not super familiar with all of them,
Do we
especially
have
equipment.
that?
I sent it to Morgan. I don't know if y'all.
Do we show, I know that originally, me and Nancy or me and Debbie went over the generators that were connected because in a lot of instances, they were separate and apart as external equipment. But I was always questioned about some fencing, like
Yes,
LEC.
on the internal.
Um, Does it give you the breakdown?
So
They have a sheet that will.
right, yeah. So what they sent me is it's gonna have all the equipment on it. So like front end loaders, skid steers, tractors, all that, and then I have buildings. But I don't. You're talking about fencing.
I'm talking about, yeah, fencing.
I don't remember seeing fencing on there. But I
But
can-
why would those backhoes and things be covered and not covered under our other? Does it add to that
It's-
policy?
So equipment is, they have equipment in a different category, and that's why it falls into, from the way they explained it to me, that's why it falls into this, as opposed to like the auto insurance and all
But
that.
for example, are you saying that the value of my equipment raises the value of the property insurance for precinct 4 building?
Great
Would you
question.
suppose?
I maybe
Because
so.
we
I
kind
really
of
don't
get
know.
double dipped there if that's the case. Because we insure all that equipment. If a tornado come and blowed it away, it's covered.
Yeah, why would that equipment be attached? That doesn't,
If it caught a fire and burnt equipment up for whatever reason, that I didn't ever catch that when we originally worked on those, that
Mhm.
there were that kind of equipment. I just was going propane tanks, generators, high fencing, that
Mhm.
could be damaged in high winds.
Right. Yep. I mean,
I
I can
don't,
ask him, but
Jeff, I don't see that any of that's in the,
Do you have that sheet, Jim, that
I think
Kenneth's got?
yeah, I
It's
think
in
Morgan's
there.
got it
It's on
on
the,
the,
it's
it's on
two,
the,
you can't really print it, but it's on the
Yeah,
internal
it's hard to
website. Just
print.
send it to you in an email
Okay.
with the link.
You just
Too
sent it?
much graph for one page, yes, I just sent it.
yeah, it's not really printable.
No.
Comes out very small.
Mhm.
agenda backup.
Yep.
because for precinct 4, for example, all it's got on the property is maintenance shop building.
You can pull up any.
Need 3 pair of
Oh,
glasses to
I
see
know
it.
why. I know. I've got. We have talked in here.
There it is. It's under-
And Jeff or Van, that Bob Scan Tower,
Uh-huh.
we don't have anything out there anymore, right?
No.
That's the one that's,
It's-
okay.
It's empty.
So we can take on, it's line 60, 70, no, 69 on the building and contents.
Bob's
Double
Bob Scan
click,
Tower, we can
Barry,
take
where
that
it says
old
March 7th.
690 Highway
Double
287.
click.
Yep.
Okay.
Keep on clicking. It's highlighted.
There it
There it is. Now, click on one of the blue
Oh, okay,
links.
I got you. I didn't get it though.
Yeah, click on that. You're gonna wanna full screen that, because it is small text.
What did we ever, Van, what was the outcome of the Bob Scan Tower lease?
I think the judges, has
Yeah.
to notify them that we're gonna do away with that lease.
Vacate it.
Yeah. I have notified them. Still haven't had a response.
You might try putting your letter, a paragraph at the bottom, said if you don't mind, send us the address of all your customers on the existing tower there.
Nobody would pick up on that, would they?
We need to add the new maintenance shop at the jail site. I don't see it in there.
That new bright.
This is why we were
shiny
having this discussion here.
tower.
That's at the LEC.
Yeah, at the 2815 Central Freeway.
What about our sign on the annex, the marquee? Don't we want to
It's
include
part of the building
that?
improvements.
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Part of the building.
improvements.
Oh, you think it's so?
Yeah. I would. It's attached to the building, so.
Yeah.
Why do we have two towers listed for cemetery on Jefferson Street?
You don't have a tower at the shop, do you?
We don't do we, Sam? We don't have a tower at the, got Tower 1 and Tower 2, 600 East Jefferson.
And this is, I believe this is all based off of last year's, so. And then anything that's been added over the course of the year.
What's Tower 2? Where's it located, Barry? Does it show there, 600
It's all
Jefferson?
showing 600 East Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
Might be one to remove or check with them to see if they have
Yeah,
any more
it's-
information.
Okay.
We've got a, we got a dish, I guess, on the roof.
Yeah, that wouldn't be.
I think it's still there. We didn't change that out, did we? I know when we changed systems, I think it's still there. I don't know if it's.
You don't use it?
What's that?
You don't use it?
It was part of the, oh, what was this?
Microwave?
Microwave system. And I think it was for, would it have been for the, JP's office in town or something?
Could have been.
Boy, I remember the conversation, but I don't remember the exact.
Brendan, do you know if anything is
I'll look.
running out of that still?
Trying to picture exactly which one you're talking about.
It's not showing any real value, so.
Which tower is?
He's showing it in Iowa Park on
600
Jefferson
East
Street.
Jefferson.
But, you know, you've got one on the end of Ruby on Bell Road.
Yeah, the
Tower.
Bell Road Tower is one we run.
That's the
Yeah.
one closest to Barry.
Yeah, but this doesn't show any
That's-
value.
There's a Bell communication tower on here, but it has a coordinates. I'm not sure if that's.
I know there's one other tiny tower that the Bell Road, or another tower the Bell Road one shoots to, and then it beams down to the precinct one, and maybe it's that one.
Is it at the same place where that regular Bell Road Tower is? Because that's the main one we use.
No, it's a little further out. It's near one of the precinct offices. Trying to remember which one. It might be the
I'm just
Iowa Park
curious.
office.
If it's not carrying any value, does it really matter?
Well, it is carrying content value
Okay.
of $21,768 per the tower. Yeah, that might be one to
So,
take off.
and so, Jack, you need a tower? We'd like to make a trade on that truck.
We've got one of those, it's trimmed level with the shop roof.
We'd like to see if we could whip up some kind of
At
trade.
some point in time, there was a tower there and the wind's taking it off.
It just goes to the top of the shop roof right now.
Yeah, it stops right there.
Yeah, it
We don't
does
need
show
to
that.
do anything now, but we will need to revise the precinct 3 JP building once the renovations are done.
Yeah.
So we'll just need to
What are we,
make a note.
what are we considering the garage with pavilion at Sprague?
That's where we're at.
At Sprague?
That would be maybe the garage door entrance down there.
Well, it's a separate building.
What line?
Oh, it's the one beside the carport, Mark, in the back. You know, if you pull in and you're headed to the generator, where you were
Yeah.
talking about, on
Yeah.
on the right, is that building against that carport? Sets us separate and apart.
With all the, where the buses parked under,
Yeah, there
The
used to be
carport,
either a gooseneck or a bus parked under it.
So we- I don't
When
know.
do we have to submit this by, Kenneth?
The end of the month.
The end of March?
Yes, sir.
Because I'd sure like to look at it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
yeah, when Kenneth was asking me what we needed to add or subtract, that's why I suggested we do this today, and yes.
You know, what troubles me on those towers, even though we can't, I'm just wondering if they're somewhere else and they're just mislocated.
Yeah.
That's what kind of concerns me. Just don't know where a $21,000 tower would be out there.
Because we don't own the green tower is the water tower,
That's
and
true.
we don't own the Bell Road tower.
Which Bell Road's like Sheriff's Department tower. And all our stuff comes off the water tower down there for our precinct radios. Wouldn't it?
What would be most helpful to you, Kenneth, to get this done? Would it be for everybody to just take a look independently? What information would you want from us then?
Yes, that's fine. I just want to make sure everything's on here. If there's something that needs to be added, removed, that's fine. Building wise, equipment wise, I just want to make sure it's accurate and we don't miss something or pay for something we don't need. So
'Cause,
It's-
yeah, there's also a mobile equipment tab there at the bottom that y'all can go through and
yeah, that's the one that has the front end loaders,
Yep.
tractors, mowers, all that stuff on it.
I can't
How do
believe
I
it.
read this? How do I know if it's precinct 1, 2, or 3?
doesn't say.
Yeah, this one doesn't. It's not specific. That was part of the confusion on that one too.
Do they have a better list?
Judge, that thing's hard to,
Oh, it's hard to,
can you
Let's-
go any bigger?
Can
Go
you
like
s-
this, Barry, go
Can
like
you
this.
send
Okay.
the
Yeah.
Excel spreadsheet to
Yeah.
commissioners? Because it's easier
Yeah.
to look at on those.
so,
Yeah, I could do that.
there's on the renewal schedule for fine arts. Should we not put the statue in?
It's valued over $250,000.
I didn't see that far.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
It's hard to see everything.
Pretty
on
high.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only
This-
anything above 250.
I can tell precinct 5 is not, well,
Judge, Dwayne just texted me and said that the Bell Road Tower is owned by Wichita West Fire Department.
That's
correct.
true, I knew that.
But the one, what would be the tower we refer to as 600 West Jefferson?
The one that's on top, one that's beside the building, EMO building.
The which building?
It's
EMO
in
building.
Oh, do you have a tower? at
They
yours?
do.
Do what?
They have a tower at the EMO building.
Oh, maybe that's the wrong
It's a
Jefferson,
short
Barry.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
it says Iowa Park.
it
Oh.
does.
Okay.
But that, I'm just saying, that's why I didn't want to just strike it, because it could very well be somewhere else. Sam, you will be happy to know that our oil storage building, $6,800,
Yeah, 'cause
and it's nice.
it's got the Jefferson.
Jack, it's nice. No,
Now, it could be added to the wrong
No,
one.
I've looked at it.
yeah.
But we have the
I never did
copies.
They do have a
Be careful when you step in, there's a hole in the floor.
No, I can see enough from the door.
Yeah. It's nice, I'm telling you.
Well, let's do that then. If you'll send out the Excel spreadsheet to the
We can just-
commissioners, they can review. And you got to get it by the end of the month.
Yes,
so
sir. Yep.
maybe by
Next week.
maybe by next Friday,
Mhm.
have everybody get any edits and talk them through.
Okay.
What needs to be the threshold on this value? Do we want to, for example, there's a plow in here for precinct 4 worth 60. We paid $6,500 for it. It's only gonna bring me $1,500 if somebody walked in there and stole it. I mean, do we want to pay premiums on that kind of thing?
I
think
think
it's-
somebody's already stole it. I think we've
Yeah.
got it. As a matter of fact.
Well, that's replacement value, I believe.
I think I know where it is.
Like if you were to have to go buy a new one, it would be replacement value.
It's a replacement value.
But I have a $5,000 deductible.
Right.
Yeah, so
Yes. Some of my building contents in my little storage buildings, I don't
Yeah.
know where we come up with those figures, because there's really nothing in there.
Right.
I'll reach out to Ernesto or whoever the new person is and
Uh,
see what exactly that is that's costing us.
Steve is the new
Steve,
Ernesto.
why don't
Steve Owens.
we early next
What is
week
Ernesto
do a
doing?
conference call and visit with
Okay.
He moved down south.
Okay.
He's what?
He's taking an area down south.
Yeah,
Oh.
he just moved down. I think he's from that area. I think he moved back.
Yeah, he's in,
Home, I
where he
believe.
lives.
Yeah.
instead of-
We saw him at, Car Station. He was down there.
Okay. Well, let's do that then. If you'll
Okay.
send that spreadsheet out, we'll
Yes.
ask for, get everybody to look at it and respond by next Friday.
Yeah.
And then you and I on Monday or Tuesday next week can visit with Steve.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Thank y'all. Thank you for the work on that. And
Yes, sir.
sometimes it's not true, but sometimes the collective wisdom here is better.
Well, I definitely don't know
Collective
what all
wisdom.
equipment you guys have and all that. So.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions on property renewal questionnaire? Okay. And if we need to do another agenda item for everyone to discuss, we can, but
Okay.
might be, we may not need to, I don't know.
All I know is our oil storage building is for sale, so. At that point.
All right, let's go to final item for today. Item 5, discussion of Road and Bridge Precinct 5 joint usage of equipment. I think Commissioner Watts had a couple of things wanted to talk about last week and just didn't
Yeah,
get
we
to.
forgot, both Mickey and I own a broom, and we're wanting to upgrade or change, and the only time we use that broom is during chip sealing, right, Jack?
Basically.
And that's just the loose gravel on the road kind of thing. And, I guess, is Precinct 2's running their machine, their broom?
I can't answer that.
I mean, do we use both of them?
Yeah.
Do we need two machines? Does that ever help?
Yeah, there's times where you can put them both on one project and get it on, where you go ahead and get spreading oil on.
Tell us about rubber tired rollers.
Well, we use the one that Precinct 4's got on all the chip sealers countywide.
We're just down to one.
That, everybody that's even got one, they're all broke down, so nowhere flats and won't run.
And I think Precinct 2 auctioned all them off, the ones over there,
And they get rid of all of them.
because they wouldn't run.
Well, they still had one behind Leon's barn over there that they never did come and get.
That
Whether it's
ours
still
is about a 2000 model, roughly a 2000 model. But I just added the cost up for us to just maintain over the last 4.5 years or so was $30,000.
And it's only used for chip seal, but it's a Precinct 4.
It's a Precinct 4
Judge,
deal.
once in a while, you'll use it on a road you're working on, rebuilding, we do that, like, we're fixing to reclaim some roads and put that material back in, and we'll use that,
But that's just
On that.
pre-chip sealing work, really.
yeah.
What's the big, is it tires?
No, the hydraulic cylinders wore out underneath ours for one, and we had to
Yeah, I had to
the steering.
redo the steering, the
shot.
hydraulic cylinders up there on the steering on the front of it last year.
Those tires are arm and a leg.
Yeah.
They're a 715, Barry.
And they don't even make
Yeah.
that machine
It's
anymore.
got a smooth side on it and a smooth tread.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any tread, it just looks like a slick. It's
I
drag
guess they're
slick.
capped, aren't they? Are they capped?
No, sir.
They're not,
No, they're
not,
retired.
see, I never did look at one that close. I thought maybe they were capped.
No,
These
these,
slow carcasses.
you buy the tire just like you see it on the road.
Okay. I know the inside ones are bare to change.
But we thought about and is maybe trading in, moving the equipment to precinct 5, donating our equipment to the cause to sell it, put a down on it to let us acquire something that is more up to date, maybe used, that with maybe low hours or maybe, you know, better than the 20 model, maybe. That, something like that, and get us up out of this old stuff that's just gonna get,
But that precinct 4 one's the only one that's still operational.
Yes.
ours is cabin air conditioning, and I don't think none of the other ones ever were
No, they were open tops.
open tops.
Just what you wanna do, run a broom with open top.
July.
Been
A
there,
little
done
bit of
that.
that open top in August to go along.
Yeah. Work on your tan.
Yeah.
But I wanted to lay that out there.
Take a
And
shower at the end of the day.
I've been gathering up some information on just new and used. Everybody's got a rental fleet with the cabbed rubber tire rollers are hard to come by out of the fleet. Everybody's got open tops. And, but I think Carter may have found one, but he called me yesterday to say they don't make that 150B anymore that we've got. It's now a whole different number. And ours weighs between 12 and 14 tons maybe. And, you know, now what we would get is something that has the capability of weighing 23 ton, up to 23 ton. Doesn't have to, but, and they use what they call ballasts to weight those.
Used to use dirt.
Yeah. That's
Well,
what
ours just has sand in the middle of it, but I've seen one roller that we rented off of Warren, one Caterpillar roller, a bigger roller. It had metal weights up under it that were in a saddle.
Well, isn't that what they're calling ballasts?
I'm sure it
Yeah,
is,
it is.
just weights.
Would it make sense? Would it make sense to rent as needed and not even have any?
We
Or do we
have.
run into the insurance issue? Is it gonna?
No,
Okay.
it's not a problem. And the problem is getting a cabbed unit, I guess, to go into that. We are renting for this process of milling or grinding up some roads. We've rented a big steel wheeled roller and a water truck, which we'll use Mark's and this rented one. And we could get a rubber tired roller, it just may not be a cabbed unit.
That's not as critical on a roller as it is on a broom.
Absolutely.
Our other rollers. with-
Yeah, that's a different deal.
Yeah. Looks like a good used broom, gonna be in the neighborhood of 40 grand, somewhere around there, anywhere from, we could find them cheaper, but they've of course been more used. They've got a lot other features more than what ours. Mine and 4s and 2s are relatively the same, right?
Yeah. I think two's has got a blade on the front of it.
Yeah. But I wanted to put that out there, and I can gather up whatever we want to do. I just wanted to get everybody's feelings about what that can do. And we could certainly, now may not be the time, or this year may not be, allow us to do that. There is machines out there to be had, but unless we had a commitment from somebody on a broom, I wouldn't want to trade, or I wouldn't want to upgrade unless we have one in hand. Just,
So you thinking, Jeff, the way forward on that would be And it to be a precinct 5 vehicle.
Yeah. Get it out from just one precinct using it, because as it's gotten older, it's sure gotten expensive. How often do we wear the brush out on that broom, Jack? Is it
We'll put at least one set of brushes under it each
a
year.
year? It's a big, this big around.
Hey,
Okay.
yeah, it's like.
What about a skid steer, Captain?
Well, I mean, they do make those. Would
Be small.
Would we able to use a broom on the front of a skid steer that would work, an 8-foot? Y'all ever been around or seen?
I never have, you seen ones there?
I've seen one,
I've
but
seen
I
small
don't,
ones.
I don't know the ins and outs of the,
Not 8-foot mark?
No, I've seen small ones that are just as wide as your tractor,
Oh.
so. I mean, for little patchwork,
that would take a lot of passes, wouldn't it?
yeah.
The only thing, like Sam just mentioned, that on that skid steer, if you're on a fresh road out there and you're turning with those
Yeah.
tracks, you're gonna tear the gravel up.
It's not good.
That oil hadn't had time to set up. The tires, you can kinda get away with it, cause those little old brooms don't weigh much. You're on 4 tires that wide.
Okay.
I
And
think, I
then,
think they would fit in a precinct 5 application. Oh, I really think they would. We really,
and maybe we investigate what the rental ability is and keep one from the end of March through September, a rubber tired roller that's more brand new. I mean, we could do that and not, what worries me on any of this stuff is that rat get in there and he can cause you more trouble than you can pay for.
True.
And that always has worried me, and if we're-
lightning.
Is there availability on a rubber tire roller during that?
that's what I'm gonna have to check on, Mark, because I didn't do any work on that.
It's probably gonna run up against the same thing we have written a rock box or a distributor or anything else, 'cause that's when all that equipment's being used.
Yeah.
If you're gonna rent one for that length of time, it might be easier to find one. They might be more willing to source and get you one if you're willing to do a 6-month deal. But yeah, that's a good question.
Well, you would probably want to start trying to acquire one the first of the year.
Yeah,
Or even in December of the preceding year,
yeah,
to give them time, because like Warren, they've got several locations scattered out around Texas, Oklahoma.
We need to own the broom though. We need to own the broom, because we use that throughout the year.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'll, do some more homework on that. I'll bring us some, if we can keep talking about it, and I'll get us some lease stuff, and then, the broom is gonna be the most inexpensive
Yeah.
thing, and we can get one with a couple hundred hours on it that is probably affordable to us. So, and so we need to think about everybody, continue to assess the dump truck, road tractor scenario, so we can, put together Purple Wave, get rid of this stuff that is gonna flush out of here. When I left, I wasn't thinking about, we have 6 road tractors that we are to choose from. And then we'll sell whatever somebody, if we all took one, that leaves 2, and we'll put them on Purple Wave. And get rid of those. I didn't know who might want new versus used or whatever. And Barry, would you come out from under your yellow truck if you bought a road tractor?
My yellow truck?
That's about like him getting rid of his oil house.
About the same price, would be good. How long's it been since we started it, Sam?
We started the first of the year.
So we're,
On New Year's Day, it's time to start at the
we
yellow
used
trail.
to use it when we had an equipment trailer to pull
Yeah.
some, and we don't really have one anymore, so,
No, we was pulling that water tanker with it, but we hadn't pulled it since we
Yeah.
were using the water trucks.
Well, and Mark, would you
Yeah, I wanna
maybe
get rid of
trade
mine.
up,
No, I won't get rid of mine, just if,
buy a new one,
we'll
buy
use
one of
one
ours?
one of the precinct four.
Okay. What year model is yours, do you know?
It's old. It's
And what
probably
about,
a nineties or early 2000s.
would you have a dump truck or two you might spin off, do you know?
No, we're
You
good
think
with,
you-
we're good with ours.
Because you've sold some dump trucks
Yeah,
in the last,
all of ours are relatively new,
okay.
except our little bitty one.
if we got one of the tractors at our place, that would relieve that yellow truck. We would need, we could pull a tanker with it, and that's really all we've got other than a belly dump.
No,
Okay.
we talked about it, if we get one of the precinct 5 units,
Okay.
we wanna
That yellow
sell
truck
ours
is
and
nice.
use that
I've
proceeds to
driven
build a
it.
carport and put our new one under.
Okay. Okay, well, if y'all will keep thinking about that and work, any kind of list you can give me will help me, to get him coordinated to get down here, so. And then, but we will, I wasn't thinking that we will have, so that'd give everybody a tractor and everybody a trailer in our precincts, and then we wouldn't have 6 trailers to spin off. We've only got 4 of those, but they're all relatively the same age and in great shape.
shape.
And but we will have, those new trucks are here, so we've got to.
Anybody that's thinking about putting another 15-yard bobtail on, I would consider these trucks that are under these belly dumps now. They're all the same wheelbase.
Put a bed on.
You could turn them in, put a
I
dump bed.
don't know what would be wrong with that. The salesman out of Bruckner told me that something about the braking system is different on these 21s because they come out of the factory as a tractor. And the braking system for a tractor is different from a straight truck.
Okay.
I don't know, something about the sensors on it. It's like everything else now.
Well-
The whole world's got a sensor on it.
Barry's talking about that 15-yard that he's got, Jack, that bought from precinct 4, maybe selling and upgrading, which it'll shock you what Barry's 15-yard will bring, just simply because it's coming from the right year age that people don't have to jack with them, and they'll rather. Brad Green's called me several times, every time he's
Yeah.
caught it at the
Brad
shop.
would probably buy it in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
Just
what he
because of
runs.
that.
yeah.
But it's a
Yeah, it'll be
standard.
$3,500 higher though, cause it's got that new hood at precinct.
Y'all are not gonna expect a little bit of a profit.
There's a little commission on it.
My question was, could you run into the back of it, and then we'd have a new truck? Little inside joke, guys, but actually, it's not funny, but you gotta laugh. You just.
But yeah, any of that, Sam, that you can list up when you and Barry get decided exactly what you wanna
Yeah.
do, the list will help me a bunch, get Jensen, whoever our person is now that comes through photographing, I can get them lined up for doing it.
I guess we better get one of these guys to pull up our list and see what we got in the account. That's probably the next step.
3's fine.
How far can we go?
3's fine.
Yeah.
Well, and then, Mike, one of the things that, and everybody's probably gonna want to know, when can we pay, could we physically swing paying precinct 5 from acquired equipment in 2026? You know,
Now restate that.
Yeah.
Say that again.
So
we're sitting on this equipment in precinct 5 paid for.
Right.
Could we pay for it in our budgeted number? Because none of us budgeted
Right.
to buy a dump truck and a tractor in 2025.
Well, we're just dispersing it evenly. Why would we have to pay anything?
Because it's not gonna be even, Mark. The dump trucks, I mean, you got 2 brand new dump trucks and then you got a older dump truck. And then you got 2 brand new road tractors and you got 4 older road tractors. It depends on what we take. It would, I mean, we could call them, we could give a flat number and pay the difference, I guess, like you say. That'd be fine with me too. But that newer stuff needs to be accounted for.
Yeah, we just need to value it all.
Yeah.
And,
We can value it and then
Put it in
set a
budget
flat
for next
rate
year to
and take
cover
a,
it.
but
If there's a
everything's in super shape, so I'm not scared of one single piece of equipment we've got. So but like you say, we could do it that way, Mark, and just flat rate a price for dump trucks, and then if you wanted a new one, add the difference in there. And same way with road tractors, flat rate them and.
put them all on a piece of paper and draw lots.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Let the chips fall where they may. If I end up with a new one, I'll pay the difference next year.
We'll be glad to throw our oil shed in.
And I do think that
too.
for the best way, from the
Yeah.
budgetary standpoint,
Yeah.
to do it would be to
To
do it in
Yeah.
the 26 budget, knowing what it's gonna be,
Okay.
because
None of us planned for it.
none of you planned for it, it's not in there, and we know we're good for it. So it's not a matter of holding off until
Yeah.
26. I don't think presents problems. Do you see any?
Well, I
And then
think,
once you get it done, then from there on, you
Yeah.
know, it's simple after that.
yeah. But I just don't wanna sell those new road tractors. I want somebody to, want them. And the best value is gonna be the other, trucks probably for what you're getting, and what you'll pay for them is gonna be the best value. But I'd rather keep those new trucks in our stuff. We can go down the road longer and everything
And
else.
keep in mind, is it 27 when the next big change comes?
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be different.
It's gonna get
for the
really hard.
27-year model. They're completely redesigning, designing new engines, new everything, which
So we need to wait
meets-
to 29 to buy new ones.
Well, and what it does, that standard is already in place, and they're gonna honor that because all the engineering stuff's been done. That's what the MAC guys told us here a month ago, that's, in other words, nothing that's going on right now, politically or otherwise, is gonna change that, because the wheels are turning. Yeah, we're gonna go through another transition. If it's as tough as the last go-round, when we
Oh,
upgraded
gosh.
everything, I don't want the first one.
No.
Or the second one.
Or the second one, you're exactly right. I mean, we did not
Well, they're
help
still
us.
trying to come out of the first one.
Well, you're right, we're not out yet.
It's
They
still
haven't
trouble.
got it where it'll work.
Yeah, I want an old one now.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
do. I mean, but just, we gotta keep that in the back of our minds, that is coming, that's gonna happen. And that'll change the way we do things.
That cover everything you wanted to?
Yeah, I think so. Got it on everybody's mind.
Okay. Well, I think we're back, next week we'll be back on our normal schedule of every week Tuesday, and then every other week Friday, so. All right, with that, any other questions on Road and Bridge 5? All right, it is 11:06, and court is adjourned.